so we are on B of week 12. So foundations, we're going to start with a 3-point row. Okay, so hand on the box, well as back foot, step back a little bit, hips are squared to the box, so square your hips, throwing straight up, nice and slow, making sure the weight's on the back leg so they don't feel it in their front knee. Okay, the way you progress this, even at a foundations level, is change the weight because this count is only 6 on each side. So to make that a little bit more difficult, we're going to go into a 2-point row. So we're just changing the touches. His elbow's going to go on his front knee, chest is down, straight up. You're really making sure they're not feeling this in their lower back, chest stays square to the ground. All right, so again, change the weights. For 6, they should be at failure with no pain. You may have to go up to 8 reps if they're stuck between weights and just communicate out with them. You can use a dumbbell or a kettlebell. There's no right or wrong. So for this next one, for strength power, we want his feet to be shoulder width apart. He's going to hinge his butt back, so it's just like almost a deadlift. You don't want to feel their back. Whatever hand is not holding the dumbbell is straight out like a stop sign. Course tight, so suck your belly button into your back, and he's going to row straight up. He should feel this in his hamstrings just as much as he does arms. You feel that in your hamstrings? Yep. So, really coaching, again, you can take the pole, making sure head and glutes are in line. So, those are the progressions on the row. So now we're going to go straight into the single arm landmine overhead press. For foundations, a couple options here. Melissa's going to go standing. So before anybody ever presses without a squat, butt cheeks tight, core tight, you're going to press straight up, slow and controlled past the ears, straight down. In the case that they feel anything in their lower back, if they're at a foundations level, you can take them to the box. Again, when they sit down, feet are out, they want to sit up tall. Again, every single exercise, you can ask them if their butt cheeks are tight. If they're sitting up tall, that means their back's protected. Looking straight ahead, straight up, straight down. It's only 6, okay? So you don't want them feeling anything, but you do want them to get the weight that they're going to go to failure for them. Okay, shoulder injury. Let's say they can get on the floor, but they have a shoulder injury. We do not press overhead with a shoulder injury. So in this case, you'll get them a mat, but we won't get Melissa a mat. She's feet flat on the floor. She wants to focus on pressing her belly button to the ground. We want 45 degrees from the body to the arms. She's going to go straight up and straight down, nice and slow. Now, would you say that's too light for Melissa? Even though she's got a shoulder injury, they might have to redo it a couple times to get the weight. You don't just chalk a rep up, a set up, and say, okay, next time. No, you might have to spot them to find the weight or again add reps. Okay, so that is shoulder injury on the floor. So the actual exercise is a single arm landmine. So let me spin the camera. In this case, when they pick it up, you want them to squat down using their legs to pick the weight up. They're kind of leaning into it, so core is engaged again before they ever press because this will hurt a shoulder. So there's no squat, core's tight, she's going to press straight up. You're going to communicate to make sure there's no pain there. I would recommend blocking this off with weights or with sandbag. Slow and controlled. Ask them if they're going to their neck. Just talk to them. They'll tell you, okay? They'll tell you it's easy a lot of times. They'll tell you they won't tell you it's easy. Adjust the weight based off of the individual there with no pain. Is that all the progressions on that one? All right, so let's go straight into the suspension supine runners. So with this one, we're going to start at the foundation level. Send the camera back to Melissa. So she's going to sit on the bench, core tight. You can see it. Sitting up tall, she's going to take the band behind her heel. Again, you can control the band resistance here. She can back the bench up. Other foot's flat, step tall. She's going to pull. You just really want to make sure they feel this in the hamstring. They may not. Another alternative there is to grab the Dynamax ball. Spin around this side. Focus on digging their heel in, nice and slow. They really have to dig to feel that though. But again, we're talking about a foundation situation. So just really focus on the back of their hamstring. All right, so now we want to go into a couple progressions with the suspension runner. So option one, before we go to the TRX, let's go over here with the sliders. Level one, you may go to a single slider. So they're going to lay on their back. Straight back, hips are up, and they're just going to extend one leg out at a time. So in this case, you would just double the number, okay? So again, the TRX may be too difficult. You can take both feet on the sliders, digging their elbows in, and they're just extending one out, one back. Alternate. Okay, and again, you can speed that up if you needed to, but you don't have to because they're going to feel it more. So what it's calling for over here is the suspension runners, and it does matter on the height of TRX straps. So you want to help them get in them. Heels are in, so if they're too low, it's going to be a little bit harder. I find a lot of times it's easier when you raise it up. 90 degrees. Make sure you're level, hips up, extend them one leg at a time, all the way out, all the way in. A lot of people will complain that it hurts the inner part of their knees, which is why we default a lot of times to the sliders. You also can use a blue ball. There's a lot of options on this. It's for the hamstring. Okay, overhead, stand back, pull apart. So we're going to start at the stability level. The width's going to come over here. And again, you can adjust the height of the box based off the individual. So we're going to go to a brace squat. Okay, so before he squats, he's going to take whatever weight in his hand straight out that engages the core. Hips go back to hip hinge. He's going to sit down, all the way down, bringing the weight in, and then he's going to stand up and push out. Okay, back down, bring it in. You have that backwards, but really the biggest part is when you're at the top, you want to brace out and engage the core before you sit. Sit, and you in or out, it doesn't matter. You're going to go in or out. Leave it out, keep it out. So he'll go down, stand up, and then you can bring it into rest if you want. Okay, so just so everybody's got it. Weight out, squat, up, rest. Okay? So again, this is a range of motion before you start adding weight. So say they're mastering that and it's easy. We're going to take the bench away. We're going to work on range of motion here. So he's going to, hands go out, squat, up, bring it in. You can use the ball as kind of, in a level one, probably not going to get that deep, but never know. What you're watching for there is just making sure their knees aren't shooting over the weight, they're not throwing it in their neck. Again, you could maybe go to the low blue box before you went to that as well. If you notice people are really leaning forward, you can elevate your feet on some weights that helps them sit back as well. Okay, so to make this even more difficult, we're going to go above overhead. So this is a strength power. Controlling the resistance shoulder width apart. So feet are shoulder width apart, making sure they're sitting back. So it's going to go down. You can use the ball as a marker. Tap the ball, come back up. Okay, if that still looks too easy, tell them to grab a little bit more on the band closer. And that count is 12. So they should be feeling it at the end of 12. So great job there. So we're going to go into the push-up position, dumbbell push. So over here, there's a couple different ways on the foundations. If they can't get on their knees, we can go to a banded AR press. So just core tight, quads and glutes straight out, straight in. Okay, so now back to DeWitt for a level one that can get on their knees. You're going to start on your knees, plank position. So again, on your elbows, no push up. Push your hips back a tiny bit. Perfect. So make sure quads and glutes are tight. He's going to take the weight, push it out, pull it back in nice and slow, okay? So if that looks super easy for him, add the weight, make the weight go up. So to make this a little bit harder, he's gonna go to his toes, push it out, back in. You probably wanna give them a mat for their elbows too. And you're just watching to make sure their hips aren't open or rocking. All right, sledgehammer medicine ball. This definitely, you want to first on foundations, start with the dynamic ball. You can double it, so go ahead and count on that.
You got 6 each.
So we would just make that 12 all the way up, slam on just a regular and you can control the weight of the ball there for one person. Okay, so let's say level 1, they really don't have knee issues, to make it a little bit more challenging. Think of a moon or a circle. When you go to open your hips up, you want to make a half circle, rotate at the top, and you're coming straight down to pick the ball up to rotate to another half circle. The biggest thing is if you don't rotate, you're going to hurt your knees. So she starts at the bottom with the ball. She's going to make a big half circle, stop, slam it,